Tim Duncan, a name synonymous with consistency, leadership, and quiet excellence. In an era dominated by flashy and charismatic players, Duncan stood out for his calm demeanor, efficiency, and ability to win. This documentary will explore the story of the big fundamental, the man who led the San Antonio Spurs to 5 NBA championships, redefined the concept of teamwork, and became one of the greatest players of all time. Timothy Theodore Duncan was born on April 25, 1976, in St. Croix, one of the U.S. Virgin Islands. His childhood was peaceful and surrounded by nature. His mother, Ione, worked as a midwife, and his father, William, was a mason. As a child, Tim dreamed of becoming an Olympic swimmer. He spent hours in the pool training different strokes, and his specialty was the 400-meter freestyle. He was a tall, thin, coordinated, and disciplined boy. Tragedy struck when Hurricane Hugo destroyed the only Olympic-sized pool in St. Croix in 1989. Shortly after, his mother died of breast cancer. Tim was only 14 years old. These two losses marked him deeply. With swimming no longer an option, he found new purpose in basketball. At first, he was not a prodigy. His body was still developing, and he struggled to adapt. But his work ethic allowed him to progress quickly. Duncan began playing organized basketball in high school, and his height and natural coordination caught the attention of scouts. Soon, he received a scholarship to play at Wake Forest University in North Carolina. At Wake Forest, under coach Dave Odom, Duncan transformed into a star. From his first year, he showed impressive defensive dominance, blocking shots, protecting the rim, and grabbing rebounds with ease. Unlike other players who were eager to jump to the NBA, Duncan decided to stay all 4 years in college. He wanted to complete his academic career and perfect his game. This uncommon decision at the time reflected his maturity and patience. During his college career, Duncan won the ACC Defensive Player of the Year award 3 times and was named National Player of the Year in 1997. He finished his college career as one of the best big men in the history of college basketball. In the 1997 NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs selected Tim Duncan with the first overall pick. The franchise was built around veteran David Robinson, and Duncan fit perfectly as his frontcourt partner. From day one, his impact was immediate. Duncan averaged 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks in his rookie season, winning the Rookie of the Year award. His game was characterized by simple but effective moves. The famous bank shot, impeccable footwork, and solid defense. The Twin Towers duo with Robinson turned the Spurs into a championship contender. Tim didn't seek attention, but his consistency made him stand out. Every game was a display of his reliability. In 1999, just his second season, Duncan led the Spurs to the franchise's first championship. In the finals against the New York Knicks, he averaged 27 points and 14 rebounds, earning Finals MVP honors. His calmness under pressure surprised everyone. Duncan didn't need extravagant gestures or bold statements. His greatness came from doing the job right, game after game. That title marked the beginning of a dynasty. Greg Popovich, the Spurs coach, found in Duncan a silent leader he could fully trust. Throughout the 2000s, Duncan solidified his reputation as the most consistent player in the league. He won 2 consecutive MVP awards in 2002 and 2003. His ability to dominate on both ends of the court made him invaluable. His leadership style was unique. He didn't raise his voice or seek the spotlight, but his teammates followed him because of the example he set. They knew they could count on him in the most important moments. In 2003, Duncan led the Spurs to their second championship, defeating the New Jersey Nets in the finals. His performance was historic: 24 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocks per game. With the arrival of Tony Parker and Manu, the Spurs became an even more complete team. Duncan, while still the star, allowed his teammates to take on important roles. In 2005, San Antonio won its third championship after defeating the Detroit Pistons in a hard-fought series. Duncan was again named Finals MVP in 2007. The Spurs swept LeBron James' Cleveland Cavaliers, earning Duncan his 4th ring. Although he was no longer the most dominant offensive player, his defense and leadership were still essential. In 2013, the Spurs were seconds away from winning the championship against the Miami Heat, led by LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh. A last-second three-pointer by Ray Allen in Game 6 snatched the title from their hands. The loss was devastating, but Duncan and the Spurs responded with one of the most memorable seasons in history. In 2014, they returned to the finals against the same Miami Heat and defeated them in 5 games. That championship was special. Duncan, Parker, and had formed an unbreakable brotherhood, and young Kawhi Leonard emerged as a new star. Duncan earned his 5th and final title. Although he was already at the twilight of his career, he remained the heart of the team. In 2016, after 19 seasons in the NBA, Tim Duncan announced his retirement. His career was one of the most successful and consistent in history. 5 championships, 3 Finals MVP awards, 2 regular season MVP awards, 15 All-Star selections, and over 26,000 points scored. Duncan left the Spurs as the most stable franchise in the NBA. His quiet leadership, work ethic, and humility had shaped everyone around him. In 2020, he was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame, a well-deserved honor for a player who defined an era. Tim Duncan was not the flashiest or the most media-savvy player, but few have been as effective, reliable, and successful. His greatness was built on simplicity, sacrifice, and constant work. He redefined the concept of a franchise player. He was the anchor of the San Antonio Spurs for nearly 2 decades, and his legacy lives on in the organization. Duncan proved you don't need to talk much to be heard. You don't need to seek attention to be remembered. His story is a testament that true greatness is often built in silence. Today, the name Tim Duncan is synonymous with excellence and professionalism. A player who left a mark not only because of the titles, but because of the way he achieved them.